segment right now is brought to you this morning by the letter Q, as in the letter on the t-shirts of Trump supporters in Tampa, the letter on signs like the one you're looking at saying, "We are Q." So what is Q? You should instead be asking, who is Q? Q is an anonymous user who started posting cryptic messages in the dark fever swamps of the internet last year. Somebody claiming to be a high-level government official with top security clearance, sharing what Q calls breadcrumbs about the so-called deep state supposedly conspiring to take down President Trump. So this QAnon conspiracy theory network then tries to follow those crumbs, those conspiracy clues, and floods YouTube and other sites with what they found. In this fringy alternate universe, senior Democrats run a secret child sex trafficking network. In the real world, they do not. In this alternate universe, the special counsel investigation is actually just a cover to really take down Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama because they were corrupted by the Kremlin. Another conspiracy theory. And the hot topic right now for QAnon, that the military convinced Donald Trump to run for president in 2016, part of a long game so the president and his military allies can now take down the deep state. See, here's the thing. The difference today is that these fringe theories ricocheting off the shadowy corners of the internet are now starting to see the light of day, like Q supporters showing up at rallies like last night's. More traction after some famous faces. Roseanne Barr, Curt Schilling, the former major leaguer, brought up some of these conspiracies online. I want to bring in now NBC's Ben Collins. Alexi and Sahil are back with me as well. So, Ben, you have been owning a lot of the reporting on QAnon. The Washington Post puts it this way, quote, "What Tuesday's rally in Tampa made apparent is that devotees of these falsehoods, some of which are specific to faith in the president, others garden variety nonsense with racist and anti-Semitic undertones, don't just exist in the far reaches of the web." Talk through how prevalent, how widespread this is or is not.
Yeah, we're talking videos with hundreds of thousands of views, probably millions of people believing in this, and you saw it last night at that Tampa rally for Donald Trump. This is showing up everywhere, and it's showing up on Amazon.com. Like, you can buy Q merchandise on Amazon.com. Until last month, until we alerted Apple, the number 10 app, paid app on the App Store, amongst like Minecraft and things your kids would see, was a Q Drops app. And again, this is bananas stuff. This is stuff like, you know, Hillary Clinton is like mixing baby blood into cement. You know, Hillary Clinton is like mixing baby blood into cement. Like, totally bananas, off the chart stuff. But people really believe this stuff, and it's because the platform just let it go unchecked.
You tweeted today or yesterday, people like to call QAnon Pizzagate on steroids, but you say it's really both emotionally and socioeconomically like Pizzagate on bath salts, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's every conspiracy theory built into one, right? It's Jade Helm, it's Pizzagate, it's all of these things. If all of these things weren't debunked already, if they were all one thing, right? It's the concept that a cabal has been running the United States government solely for the explicit purpose of having like a child sex ring in the background. It's bananas, it's wrong, and again, platforms haven't stopped it yet.
The theories are not just targeting politicians. Some celebrities are caught up in the crosshairs here. For example, YouTube, as you talk about companies that are trying to deal with this and struggling, is one of them. You worked with NBC's Joel and Kent on the Today Show piece that ran this morning. I want to play a bit of that.
Two Hollywood icons, the targets of false conspiracy theories on YouTube.
Steven Spielberg is a pedophile.
I'm just showing you that Tom Hanks is part of the system.
A casual search for Tom Hanks on YouTube turned up videos accusing the movie star of being a pedophile. Director Steven Spielberg getting the same treatment. The videos come from a fast-growing right-wing internet community called QAnon. It pushes false allegations that a child sex ring is being run by Hollywood celebrities and Democratic politicians. All of this uncovered by NBCnews.com.
And by you, Ben Collins. So what is the ultimate goal of this QAnon movement?
Two things. It absolves President Trump of everything that he's done wrong. In their eyes, it's actually a great thing. Like, there are ways that they take typos that he writes in tweets and say, actually, it's this big coordinated effort to let everybody know that he's in on this whole thing. It's fan fiction. It's the same way that if you were to read, like, people trying to put together two people on a sitcom on the internet because they're fans of it. It's the same exact thing. It's people role-playing politics. And the goal is to make it so the lives of their political opponents are just simply impossible. And you saw it with Pizzagate. You saw it with private citizens affected by this. It's the same sort of thing that with the crisis actor conspiracy. They try to make it so people whose lives are affected by the Trump campaign generally they make their life impossible, basically.
You know, this is really dangerous that they're showing up to these rallies now. I would expect them to show up to more rallies in the future. But if we use the Pizzagate as an example, that was one person who took this online movement offline. Now that they are moving in mass to the physical space, we should not be surprised if any of this turns into protests at the very least, or something more scary and dangerous.
Just a very scary thought.
Conspiracy theories are not new in American politics, but we are in a new age. It's much worse because of the internet and the proliferation of all these things to a much broader swath of people. And President Trump, he is in many ways a conspiracy theory president. His foundation of his political rise was in 2011, the birther conspiracy about Obama, which was laced in racism. Then he talked about how Obama wiretapped Trump Tower, also conspiracy theory. Ted Cruz's dad involved in JFK somehow, conspiracy theory. Millions of illegal votes cast in 2016, conspiracy theory. People believe this stuff, and it's out there, and these social media platforms like Facebook and YouTube have a difficult choice to make. They want to be a free-for-all. They want to let all speech out there and proliferate, but they have a responsibility at some level to decide what content is acceptable on their platform.